The Eagles and Chiefs edition of the Stephie Small Show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at underdogfantasy.com, promo code SMALLS.
Are you ready?
Welcome back. Happy Hump Day. I am your host, Stephie Smalls of the Stephie Smalls Show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Today, we actually have Sean Green on with me. We are continuing with the team previews, doing things a little ass backwards, as expected. So here on the show, we're going to have Sean on first, and then we will have Shaggy Bets on to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's bring Sean on, co-founder of the sport. This is a big deal, guys. Chat better be active today. Co-founder of the Sports Gambling Network and host of the Sports Gambling Podcast. Eagles Die Hard. How's it going?
It's going great, Stephie. Any chance I get to talk about my Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champs? I don't know if you remember. Yeah. They won the Super Bowl. Last we saw NFL football, Jalen Hurts was outplaying Patrick Mahomes, Nick Sirianni out coaching Andy Reid, and yet still half my day is spent yelling at people who are saying Tua is a better quarterback than Hurts, that Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. What does he have to do to get a little respect around here?
This is going to be a long one as a Giants fan. This is going to be a long show. I was going to invite you on to do the Vikings preview. You have found a way to have beef with the Vikings fans. What is that about before we talk about your Philadelphia Eagles?
That was I've turned into a bit of a reply guy with Kay Adams, as embarrassing as that is. But she tweeted out something about Vikings winning the Super Bowl, and I replied, not with a rookie quarterback. Harmless take. I was just trying to get some chatter going here, and it was unleashed a shitstorm of Vikings fans. He's not a rookie, and okay, fine. Yes, not technically a rookie, but he didn't play an NFL snap last year. He might take him a little bit to get going. They wanted none of that, and these Vikings fans, they are drunk off the season that Jaden Daniels had, right? So they see Jaden Daniels and they go, oh, that was his first year, and we have a better defense and a better head coach. We're going to the Super Bowl. They could not be talked off. Hey, I get it. He's the new quarterback, but we also he's coming off a major injury. And then they corrected me there on that. It's not a major injury, but he missed the entire year. That's a major injury. So it was a lot of, I wasn't even a Vikings hater. I just said they're not winning the Super Bowl, which I think is a reasonable take. Sure, if you, a guy who hasn't played in the NFL is not winning the Super Bowl as quarterback. If that's a hot take,
It's funny because I am pretty pro Vikings, but they're not winning the Super Bowl. Can we be realistic?
Well, and the weird thing about the Vikings season is Vikings fans are just like, okay, we were 14-3 last year. He's probably going to be better than Sam Darnold. So what, you're going to be 15-2? I mean, come on, guys. I think they have a good head coach. I like Brian Flores as defensive coordinator. Yeah. Obviously, they have a bunch of great skill players, but then you still have a quarterback that they wanted to try and keep Daniel Jones, right? Because they wanted a security blanket, maybe in case JJ McCarthy tweaks something, in case it's good to have a veteran around. The fact that they wanted Daniel Jones to stick around and he didn't stick around, I think that's somewhat telling. But again, they're in a tough division. They outperformed, to talk like a nerd, they outperformed their Pythagorean win theorem by a bunch. A lot of things broke right for them. You could have an awesome season for the Vikings and still be 10-7, 11-6.
Yeah.
But they're just such maniacs. They're like, okay, we're starting at 14-3. It's like, guys, sorry, the NFL doesn't work like that. You don't start off with what your record from last year.
Right. And not even talking about the Vikings too much, because we'll talk about the Eagles. Obviously. Yeah. Maybe I'm just delaying it on purpose because I don't want to talk about the Eagles.
Well, and Steph, if you want to delay it a little bit longer, I will give you this. I don't know. I just installed it on the soundboard. So you have now made it onto the SGP soundboard. And here you go. Here's your debut sound effect.
Don't be a bitch.
And so now, I mean, obviously, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this on the show, but it's also great for the office when we're, making orders for lunch.
Don't be a bitch.
Someone trying to order a salad.
It reminds me of those the easy buttons.
Easy button, right?
Exactly.
And
don't be a bitch.
I think there is a way you can put in custom sound drops. So look for the "Don't Be a Bitch" button coming to the SGPN store from Steph.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a good one. See, that means I'm doing well because I'm on the soundboard now. So we're in a good spot here. Okay, so let's talk about the Eagles 2024. I think the recap is basically they won the Super Bowl. They did me a massive favor because I don't have to see Patrick Mahomes' hair anymore. He got rid of the rat tail because he lost in such a terrible fashion that he actually cut his hair. They won 14 games. Talk to me about this past season.
Well, and Steph, you nailed it. That is an underrated achievement of the Eagles in 2024, that they broke Patrick Mahomes. It's like a girl when she goes through a breakup, she dyes her hair, gets a different haircut. We got him to cut his hair.
That's crazy.
And as much as I know, a lot of hatred towards the Eagles fans, I think people didn't want to see the Chiefs three-peat. And I think it highlights, obviously it was a very good Chiefs team, and it highlights like, hey, how hard it is to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. Eagles started out very rough. Those first 4 games, they were injured, banged up. Saquon dropped that wide open screen that probably could have got them the game. They had that ugly win against New Orleans there. Like they were kind of backs against the wall. They were 2-2 going into the bye week. Everyone calling, "Oh, you gotta fire Nick Sirianni," which I have not called for Nick Sirianni to be fired. Never called for Jalen Hurts to be benched. Was I really on board with Nick Sirianni when they started at 2-5 and he gave the Flowers speech? I'll tell you this. I was underwhelmed, but when Jason Kelce, when they did they broke the huddle going roots on 3, like kind of making a joke out of it, and the fact that they kind of got on board with it, I was like, okay. And Nick Sirianni, again, takes a ton of heat, but the guy wins a bunch of games. So whatever he's doing, I get it. If I was going up against Nick Sirianni, I would find him yelling at fans and stuff obnoxious and annoying. But the guy, whatever it is, he connects with the players. So after the bye week, they basically didn't lose another game. Now, they lost to the Commanders when Jalen Hurts got knocked out, but all the games that Hurts finished, they won. And, he played through some injury. There were moments where it wasn't maybe the prettiest, but those last 2 games, the NFC, I mean, really, I think their toughest game was against the Rams. That snow game, Hurts dealing with the knee injury. Stafford had me. I mean, I was sitting right over there just sweating my ass off when he was driving down. I'm like, oh no, they're going to blow it. They're going to blow it. But then once they survived and Jalen Carter blew up the line, forced the incomplete pass, once they survived that game, I felt really good about their chances. And then they got to face a Commanders team, again, with a rookie quarterback who, as much as it pains me, Jaden Daniels is pretty good, and it's
annoying.
It's unfortunate that we're gonna have to deal with him in the division. Even watching the NFC Conference championship game, I go to Kramer, I'm like, fuck, this guy's really good. He's gonna be a pain in the ass for as long as he's upright. They end up putting it on the Commanders, and then taking care of things in the Super Bowl, belt to ass to the Chiefs. So
it really was.
It felt great as a guy who's been backing Jalen Hurts. Of course, we've all seen the clip where I shit on him a ton after the Eagles draft.
You brought it up. I didn't bring it up. You brought it up.
Like a great politician, you got to get out ahead of it.
Of course.
I was very skeptical. But as soon as I saw Hurts on the field, I was on board. And we were talking about it. I think all the stuff he went through in college, getting benched in the national championship game, all that stuff, this dude, it lit a fire under his ass. And yeah, if you want to say to me, Jalen Hurts isn't the most talented guy, isn't the most naturally gifted passer, sure. But Like, the guy has a legit work ethic. He gets guys around him to play for him. He seems super focused on winning.
Yeah.
And after this season, they still seem like they have a huge chip on their shoulder.
It's very annoying how likable Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts both are. Like, unfortunately, they are very likable. Their coaches, on the other hand, are not as likable. Like, Sirianni's biggest issue is just I want to punch him in the face. Like, he just has a punchable face. That's just how it is. That's his aura. That's fine. Like, I think he puts himself right into the brand of that. But even like by the numbers, like this Eagles team did well. Good for them. Everyone was kind of counting them out. 6th in offensive points per game, 8th in EPA per dropback, 1st in the league in EPA per rush. That's not shocking. I think the big people are going to talk about them being a negative regression candidate. The defense, they lost Williams, Sweat, CGJ. I don't know how big of a deal that is, and Burks. Like, where are you at with the draft, the losses, free agency? Like, where is the biggest gap there, or what do you like that they did?
Yeah, I mean, again, they clearly last year was them going all in, getting in Saquon Barkley, who we haven't talked about. Hats off to Saquon. I know he was very excited about winning the Super Bowl. Great season, historical season.
Good for
and looking at the projection stuff, it's hard to project Saquon to have a better year than he did. I still think he'll have a very good year, but they might have to end up passing the ball a little bit more and relying on Hurts in the passing game. You get a new OC. That's always a little bit of an issue, but also too, like, Hurts is, I don't know if he's had back-to-back offensive coordinators the same, like maybe 21, 22 off the top of my head, but it's been a kind of constant revolving door at the offensive coordinator position, losing Kellen Moore. But again, going back to the season, like those first 4 games, it did feel like they were trying to run Kellen Moore's offense. After the bye week, they kind of went back to like, hey, this is Jalen Hurts. We're going to play to his strengths. And that is the best version of their offense. Pound the rock, play action. And Hurts is just a gamer as far as like extending third down, keeping drives alive. Now, like, as far as the defense, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, I'm not devastated by losing them. I probably would have liked to have them on the roster, but I would say this, the fact that it gives a guy like Nolan Smith, who had an incredible, basically from the bye, he went on the tear, 10.5 sacks. I like him as a dark horse defensive player of the year candidate because he's going to get more opportunities. That defensive line and the pressure is still going to be very, very good. Now, linebacker, dealing with some injuries, but we do still get Zach Bond back. I am slightly concerned about safety. I would say that's the biggest concern. Right. And then Darius Slay, like I'm fine with them moving on and moving to a younger cornerback. Ringo is probably who's going to be the starter. They'll keep Cooper DeJean at the nickel is what my which is what I think is going to happen. Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, obviously awesome year as rookies. I think they could take a step up. And Vic Fangio, I think, has done a good job coaching. I would say, though, my concern is safety. Like, if they can't figure the safety position out, and CJGJ, he was kind of a bit of a spark plug physicality-wise, talked a bunch of trash, gave him a little bit of attitude. That I would say, like, the safety position to me is the biggest concern as an Eagles fan. The offensive side, I feel pretty good. Like, there's no huge gaps. There was certainly concern moving from Kelsey to Juergens last year. Juergens played really good and obviously had a very good year. So the offensive line's still good. We got AJ Brown. They didn't lose Dallas Goedert, which I thought might happen. He was off the trade block. They said, hey, figure out a trade. This has been the new move of like teams calling players bluffs where they're like, yeah, you want to get a trade? Go for it. And then they can't. And then Howie's like, all right, team friendly deal for us.
Right.
So, I mean, they didn't really, the offensive side's pretty much the same. Defense, I wouldn't be surprised if they start off a little slow defensively. That would be my concern, and the secondary.
I mean, even what Fangio did, though, like bringing this team to first in DVOA, like there's a lot that you can highlight from what he's done. It's actually very frustrating, which is fine. But let's talk about some of the betting lines before we do that. As you know, we are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures, which we're going to get into some of those a little bit later. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. As you guys know, I will be giving out some golf bets that I like. Not to brag, I will brag. I have been hot on these, so let's continue that. Finau, first round leader, 45-1. I like Crybaby Davis Thompson over Grazerman, -109. And top Canadian, Adam Hadwin, +192. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SMALLS for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SMALLS. And listen, let's talk about Circa. When I think about Circa, Sean is part of that. Circa is holding an ultimate fantasy football draft experience. This is where I have held my draft. I have had many cocktails with Sean, with Kramer. The whole crew is going to be there contest weekend. You can plan to do it this weekend. They have a 2-night stay for you and 11 friends. Legacy Club welcome party. Espresso martinis are amazing up there. We all know how much I love Circa. It's all I talk about. You get to host your draft at Stadium Swim. If you haven't been to Circa, I don't know why you haven't signed up yet. You get a $5,000 tab for Stadium Swim. You get a hotel stay for your entire league. Last chance to enter the Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football Giveaway, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Circa. I can't wait to get back to Circa. I do miss it quite a bit.
Oh yeah. No, it's one of those things everyone goes, oh, well, they're, or they probably think in their head, oh, you're just hyping them up because they're a sponsor and whatever. No. And trust me, we were hyping them up before they were sponsors. It's been a hilarious ride and great partnership. But I basically read a press release that said, oh, hey, they're building this big new casino in downtown Vegas dedicated to sports. And so I cold emailed them and was like, hey, I heard you're building studios. I'd love to do a show there. Just basically like, hey, help me out. And they're like, oh, yeah. Hey, why don't we have our owner, Derek, call into your show? And we're like, all right. And then we had Derek on. We're like, oh, my God, this guy is a DJ. This is
awesome.
And then we've been friends ever since. So I
actually can prove that we're not just advertising, because I got texts from more than one person that works on Derek's crew after that video came out that I gave the reasons that I love Circa. They didn't even know that you could get a banana split to room service. They go, Aaron texts me, we're confused. Where are you getting a banana split from? I'm like, oh, I actually know your spot better than you. See? So there's tips and tricks to do it. But if you have not gone and done that, I don't know what you're waiting for, because that's an awesome opportunity.
It's free. There. And then again, like it's for your entire league. So if you have a league, why would not everyone enter?
Yeah.
If you win, you all go. Like it's awesome.
It's awesome. Come hang with us. It'll be a blast. We'll be out there contest weekend. Let's talk about the win total line here. It's 11.5. Looks like I saw some more plus money to the over there. Where are you at with this? Gone over 2 of the last 3. But if we want to talk about the last 10, this is what Kramer would do. Kramer would be proud. This is what Kramer would do. He'd go, but 3 of the last 10.
Yeah, I mean, basically in the Hurts era, since we got AJ Brown, they're going over 11 wins. Even in 2023, which was the nightmare of all seasons, they still started 10-1 and then finished 11-6. So yeah, I think take the over 11.5 wins. I mean, because look at the offense is coming back. They're still in a really good spot. If Jalen Hurts plays, the guy figures out ways to win games.
Yes.
They're not missing any of their major pieces from last year. That, like, mentally, they still clearly have a chip on their shoulder. Yeah, the guy celebrated and went nuts. But I'll tell you, like, after the Eagles' last Super Bowl in 2017, it was their first Super Bowl. Then there was all this weirdness of the Wentz injury. Should Foles be the starter? Should they trade Foles? When is Wentz coming back? And so 2018 was like a much different season, and it was way harder for them to kind of put it together. They put in they put in Wentz after a couple games of Foles. It was a completely different dynamic. Now it's, hey, all these teams, all these people still talking shit, still no respect in general from the media and whatever. I think they're going to be fired up. Now, I guess if you're talking yourself into the under for the Eagles, certainly they do have a very hard schedule. Yeah, it's a Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl schedule for a reason. So I think they're going to do well in the division, compete well there. And yeah, I think the rest of their, even some of their tougher spots, which you might think, like at LA Chargers. I was just yelling at some Chargers fans on the internet saying, hey, we're going to take over SoFi. I mean, when they played in LA for the Rams game, it was like an Eagles home game. So they get a couple of those spots. They don't have to go international last year, which was, not ideal, losing a home game to the international. So I think maybe you talk yourself into some of the, if you're on the under, you're talking yourself into the schedule, maybe injury regression. Yeah. They were pretty healthy. So again,
least injured team. That's like that right there is, I don't know. I'm definitely on the under, obviously, but I'm also a hater. That's what you're going to get out of this. Would you go to play an alt, would you go to like a 13.5 or where are you at?
Me? Yeah, no, definitely. Because this team going 14-3 is very doable, Steph. No, I think you could, I actually would play. I mean, I don't know if it opened at 10.5 with like crazy juice, but
yeah.
I would say, yeah, I had them going 14-3 last year. I'm an insane homer. They went 14-3, no big deal.
Yeah.
But I think they're set up for another 14-3 win season. Like this team doesn't, they obviously had that crazy slide in 2023, but it seems like they've moved past a lot of that stuff. So I'd be very shocked if they have like a long losing streak, end up losing 5-6 games. I really struggle to see it. And I think they're going to come in locked in. I'm planning on going to the game in Lambeau, so I've been a good luck charm.
That's fun.
That could be, and yeah, it's kind of like everyone talks about. You got to go to Lambeau for.
I haven't done it yet. I regret not doing it when Rodgers played. Like I wish I had gone when Rodgers was there still.
Yeah, no, that would have been nice. Certainly not as historic watching Jordan Love play, but
that's true. Yeah, no, not quite. But
I saw Jordan Love in his prime. Yeah. Wait, when was his prime? Yeah, but it's tough for me to get negative on it. Now you could even go to like, oh, hey, they had a very positive turnover differential, and that's usually a sign of like, hey, the ball's not going to bounce the right way for you. I would just go back to the fact that like one of Jalen Hurts' strengths, which annoys people, is that he does play clean football. Even in his struggles, even in his downturns, he hasn't been known to like throw a bunch of picks, fumble a bunch, that kind of stuff. Like he's very good turnover wise. It started off a little rough for him in those first 4 games, but cleaned it up after the bye. So that's part of why they're always going to be in a good spot turnover wise. With Hurts, like his game is not turning it over a bunch. Now you could say maybe he holds on to the ball too long and generates some sacks and stuff like that. But again, that obviously helps your turnover differential.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say poke fun. That is the wrong. I'm glad I got that one out. I'm not gonna poke fun at what I will bring something up later about why I think there is a conversation to be had about the under here. But before we do that, the division. They're the favorite. You're an NFC East fan. There's one thing that we know is NFC East fans, they don't repeat, but they're still the favorite. I think that is the right spot for them to be in, -135. Look at the win totals in the rest of the division here. We got Commanders at 9.5. I could go on and on about how I expect them to regress a little bit, if not quite a bit. You have Dallas at 7.5, Giants at 5.5. Is there any value though on looking at like an exacta here for, there's something to switch up in this division?
Yeah. So again, if you're looking for hater info on the Eagles, you could go back to the fact that no one's won back-to-back NFC East. You got to go back to 2003, 2004, when the Eagles had their pretty good run there with Andy Reid. I think this is similar to that, and I think obviously they will win. And maybe if you I actually kind of like the over 11.5 a little better at closer to -110 than necessarily the division at -135. Obviously, I think both are good bets, but the division at 11-6, I don't know. I would rather just take the over 11.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be optimistic about the Giants, if you do an Eagles Giants exacta 1-2, that's pretty fun.
Something
I think
spicy. Have the Commanders finish last. Me, I don't know. Listen.
Oh yeah, well, the thing is with and to kind of talk about the division, the thing with the Commanders is you want to like everything broke right for this Commanders team. They won on a Hail Mary. They had a rookie quarterback. It was, you can make a case, best rookie quarterback season of all time. Cliff Kingsbury's offense did not fall apart halfway through the season. We know that's usually what happens is people figure out the Cliff Kingsbury offense, it falls apart. So yeah, I'm still a little, I still don't really know how it all worked out for the Commanders. They had a lot of guys they brought in, right? Like it's like everything broke. Yeah, everything broke perfectly for them. I don't see that happening again. Dallas, I mean, as we know, Dallas. Dallas. I mean, just start with the quarterback. Quarterback, yeah, Dak, but also the head coach, Schottenheimer. If the only thing the Dallas Cowboys were missing was putting a Schottenheimer at head coach and that solves it, I mean, I'll eat my words. I'll eat my words because I just don't think that was the missing ingredient. And then the Giants, they're the Giants. I'll let you take. Where are you at with the Giants? Jackson Dart, I'll give you guys.
Listen, I'm on your network, but you're on my show.
Yes. What is
Giants will probably cover a lot of spreads. I don't know how many games.
Okay.
I think they cover spreads. I think they surprise people, but I think that's exciting, and I think they're trending in the right direction. But also, did you know they did not win a single game last year in the division. Not a single one. That's not going to happen again. It's just not going to happen. Yeah,
there's certainly, I would say not trending down from where they are.
Well,
and I think again, Kramer and I disagree with this, but my thing is, if you have a quarterback, put him in. Like, I think if I was a Giants fan, I would be arguing for, hey, let's get Jackson Dart in there sooner rather than later. There's always two sides of the coin here of, don't put him in too early, blah, blah, blah. Maybe not game one, but I mean, I do think it's a fun sprinkle for Jackson Dart to be the starter week one. I don't think that's impossible.
Yeah.
And I think if you're Dable, showing any sort of promise with Jackson Dart is how you stay the head coach of the New York Giants. So I think, people argue, you don't want to put him in too early, you're going to break him. I think if you're a guy who's going to get broken, the time isn't going to matter, right? Like some guys are able to transition from college, some aren't. So if I was a Giants fan, it's like, hey, get him some reps, get him some experience. I'd want to see 8 games with Jackson Dart, and maybe you get a better evaluation of Jackson Dart. I think if I was a Giants fan, to me, a loss for this season would be ending the season and not having more info on whether Jackson Dart is the guy, who we need to put around Jackson Dart, what he needs to do in the offseason. If Jackson Dart is still a huge unknown this season, then what is this season about? So I think if I'm a Giants fan, the more Jackson Dart, the better.
The one thing to that, though, is that coin has the same picture on both sides, and it's Dable. And what he's going to do is use Dart. Like, I think the concept to this is that he's going to use Dart to keep his job. So I don't think we see Dart now that they have the depth in the quarterback room. You see Russ, you see Jameis, and then after the bye week, they bring in Dart, and then both of them, we see them, Shane and Dable next year, because it's not enough of a sample size, but they're not going to get rid of him because he looks kind of good.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Like holding that off, and that it's like Peter Griffin, where he's like deciding whether or not the box could have a boat, and do you want the boat or what's in the box? And he's like, I don't know. There could be a boat in that box.
Who knows?
The fact that that it's the unknown keeps him alive there.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna give you some smasher passes with these player lines here and see where you are at. Hurts passing yards at 3,200 and a half.
Smash!
Really? I'm passing that one. Okay. Touchdowns. I think this is all going to be a smash. I could probably go pretty quick through this. Hurts, 19 and a half.
Smash it. Come on. they're going to be throwing. I think they're going to be throwing a little bit more this year. Would be my big takeaway on the offense.
They did take, yeah, I noted that. I mean, obviously Saquon's a part of that. Speaking of Saquon, listen, that's a lot of touches. That's a lot. I don't need to do the whole. It's a lot of touches.
I'm trying to do some more research on touches and historical athletic freaks.
Yeah.
Like Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
But I would say big picture fantasy stuff wise that if you're expecting Saquon to have the same year he had last year, I think that it's just tough. Like he had a career year. Obviously, that many touches, your injury risk could potentially increase depending on the type of superior athlete you are. But also, I think the Eagles are going to be cognizant of that going in the regular season, especially if things are going well. They like Will Shipley. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't have the same number of design touches in the run game and even in the pass game. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't say they're ever going to rest Saquon during the regular season because obviously you need to, ideally get the number 1 seed, win the division, all that stuff. But I think they're going to be aware of it and the miles that they put on him last year. So I would be the crazy overs on Saquon. I would tread carefully.
Yes, and I have actually already bet that under because I think, and Terrell, we know Terrell. Yeah. Terrell is part of the family. He sent me this the other day. So 20, and we're going to leave it at this, and I'm going to move right into the next player. You actually don't get a response to this. Is what's going to happen. 2018, he had 352 touches. 2019, grade 2 ankle sprain, week 3. 2022, 352 touches. 2023, grade 2 ankle sprain, week 2. 2024, 378 touches. And Terrell is so dramatic because he put 2025 ... which was so unnecessary because I fucking know what you didn't need to put that there.
2025, he's dead.
Yeah, right. Okay. A little morbid there, Terrell. Okay. Devontae Smith, 850 and a half. He's sitting at there.
Yeah, that one's tough. I would say I think stat-wise, Devonta is good for some breakout games.
Yeah.
But maybe not cumulatively hits it, but he's it's close, but I'll have to give me a smash.
Is there any way anyone other than AJ Brown leads the Eagles in receiving yards? Is there a path to that even?
No. I AJ Brown's so good, and it's almost and Devonta and yeah, and he's a book guy. Got his book right over here. It's not his book. He just read it. But they clearly, him and Devonta have a good relationship where Devonta, to his credit, doesn't mind being the number 2, isn't demanding, hey, demanding number 1 money on some other team. He took number 2 receiver money to stay in Philadelphia. He likes it here. They have a good relationship. So there is clearly an established 1-2. I never think they'll, Goddard, they're never going to throw to him enough to box out AJ. I mean, barring injury, AJ is going to be the leader in receiving yards. Definitely touchdowns. Maybe Devonta would have a chance, but I don't see it.
Yeah. Okay. What's your favorite paper? Do you have a paper ticket yet on any of the anything yet? You have Nolan. Yes. You have Nolan Smith, don't you?
Nolan Smith, Defensive Player of the Year, 100-1. And the logic, if you enjoy a good long shot. Now, the Defensive Player of the Year, for the most part, has been chalky, but Patrick Surtain was a real wild card last year. And kind of what I outlined earlier in the episode of they're going to need some, pass rush production from, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, guys who had a decent number of sacks. And I think those might end up going to Nolan Smith because Jalen Carter, as awesome as he is, and he's certainly a bigger name, he's not a guy who's going to get a ton of sacks normally. He's just going to get a ton of interior pressure, blow up some plays, and, they got to double team him. So that creates good opportunities for Nolan Smith. So that's my fun Eagles long shot.
Okay. Give me the final record prediction.
14-3. They run it back. 3 losable games on the schedule because of spots. Maybe we're resting starters. I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Knock on wood. But 14-3, and they got a chip on their shoulder. They're going to run it back. Go Birds!
Yeah, I got winning 10 games is what I have. That's fine. Give me the division breakdown. How does the division go?
The division breakdown.
Yeah.
All right. I'll toss you a
third,
bone.
fourth.
I'll say Eagles. I'll say Giants number 2, and then I'll say Commanders number 3, Cowboys number 4. And when the exacta market comes out, that's going to pay pretty good. So I will put a little sprinkle.
Ryan, make sure you go clip that and send it to Kramer within the next 4 minutes of that. Now that he said that. Is there anyone in fantasy that you would recommend? I've been drafting a lot of Shipley. Anyone other than that you
Shipley. Dagger through my heart. No, I think especially in best ball, I think Goddard. The fact that they brought, Goddard is basically free. In underdog best ball, Goddard is really underrated in my mind. Clearly, there's a role for him. When he's out there, his yards per game, his touches, it's pretty good. So I think he's the sneaky guy. And then I do think Hurts, they're going to continue to get those rushing touchdowns and stuff like that. So especially ADP wise, Goddard, I think, is the biggest outlier from where he should be.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. I think he's going tight end 12, which is pretty late, I feel like, for what he can do. Him and Hawkinson, I've been drafting quite a bit because of where they're falling. You guys are doing team previews soon. You're doing a ton of stuff right now. Let the people know where they can find you. We'll have to get you back on very soon.
Yeah. Sports Gambling Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes. We're doing a couple of fantasy football team or position previews. Then we recorded going on vacation. So we loaded up a bunch of episodes. College football conference previews with our buddy Colby will be airing. So covering all the major conference, even some smaller ones. The episodes were a lot of fun. The episode where we discuss the Bill Belichick, Jordan Hudson, and how it could impact North Carolina. That was a very fun episode. There's a lot to unpack there. So Sports Gambling Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, subscribe. And of course, as always,
don't be a bitch.
There you go. I wanted to go out.
Let it ride.
Thank you,
All right. See you, Sean. I appreciate you. Go Giants. Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Next week, speaking of Kramer will be on. You guys can jump in this draft. Be sure to take advantage of this deposit match up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Use promo code SMALLS, 2 L's here. I have a slip for round 1 for you guys at the Rocket Mortgage. I almost said Travelers. That was last week. McCarty, higher 4.5 birdies or better. Can't do anything, can't lay. Higher 1.5 bogeys or better. That'll get you 4.27x your money. So sign up with Smalls to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SMALLS. Shaggy Bets, I've been making him wait way too long, so I will yap no further and let him come on here. Senior writer and betting analyst with your betting news. I made you wait. I'm so sorry. I did not shut up. I didn't shut up.
Hey, that's okay. Smalls, I know what I'm getting into. All right. You're a certified yapper girl, proudly proclaimed on your Twitter. If you fit the bill. So I'm just happy to be here. It's your show. You make the rules. I'm just along for the ride.
They felt about the Giants, and then I had to start. It's a whole thing. It was a whole thing. I'm happy you're here.
Absolutely.
You were a Chiefs fan. I didn't know. I did not. I don't know how I missed that somehow. Why are you a Chiefs fan?
Well, the easy answer is just born and raised in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I'm a hometown guy. I love my Chiefs. I love my Royals. I love my Jayhawks, all that. But yeah, Colby, actually, our good friend Colby gave me some ammunition. You thought I was a Bears fan? Have I not put enough Mahomes propaganda out on the timeline
yet?
You're
telling on me, Colby. This is crazy. I was trying to get some.
We're teaming up against you, Smalls. Watch out.
Well, here's the thing, and here's the beef, and this is where the yapping comes in. Because I thought you were, don't hold on before, let me finish. And then because no, you're going to want to say, I thought you were a Midwest guy. In my head, Kansas City is not the Midwest.
See, this is funny because me and Colby were literally just talking about this on our show of we were trying to redefine the Midwest because, the U.S. Census, there's way too many states in the Midwest. I proudly proclaim Kansas City is as Midwest as they come. We agreed Wisconsin probably is the team captain for the Midwest, rightfully so.
That I agree with, yes.
But like Ohio, Indiana, they're their own region. They're their own Great Lakes, Rust Belt region in my eyes. If they want to come on the Midwest train, they can. Right. There's room for everybody. But, we kind of defined it as if you've got nothing better to do, you're probably in the Midwest. I think that's a good definition.
Also, it's a little weird, too, because Midwest is we're closer to the East. A lot of this. I'm a little confused about
a lot of the Midwest is on the east side of the Mississippi River. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. So
it doesn't make any sense. And then we're teaching kids this in school. They're confused.
We got to redefine these parameters.
Yeah, we got to
too many
figure that
people
out.
Are confused.
We need to redraw some things. Maybe I think we should combine some states even.
Well, we were talking about that too. I mean, North and South Dakota. That's an easy two right off the bat right there. You can do the same thing with the Carolinas if you want.
Yeah. I think you could add all New England together. Why not? I don't really claim some of New England actually.
You can visit all those states in the same day. So yeah, you might as well just make them one, right?
It's great. So we will talk about your Chiefs here.
Absolutely.
It's actually funny because I had a little bit busy of a week. So I typed my little notes and it actually says 2024 recap. Kind of got their cheeks clapped in the Super Bowl. That's quite literally what it says. So talk to me about that. Talk to me about 2024, the cheek clapping that was the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, that's honestly the best way to describe it because it was not fun to watch at all. We got dominated from the get-go. The Eagles had our number, obviously with the revenge factor from a couple of years ago, maybe a little bit more intangibles on their side, but it was a cheeks clapping. Absolutely. Just like in the Tom Brady Super Bowl when we got our cheeks clapped by Tampa Bay. Mahomes was running for his life there. It was, not fun to watch. It hurt, but I try to tell myself, we've got 15 under center for a long, long time, hopefully his entire career. Mm-hmm. We are going to lose some Super Bowls. That's just what happens when you have one of the greats. You're going to get there. You're not going to win sometimes, but you're going to reload and be ready for next year. And I think they've reloaded. I think they're ready to go.
Okay. All right. That's good. We like that. We like to hear that. Did anyone leave this in free agency that you're concerned about leaving?
Not necessarily anyone coming to mind. And I would say I was worried about Kareem Hunt maybe signing elsewhere, but bringing him back, I think as that two-punch tandem of running backs with Isaiah Pacheco, I think they pair perfectly together. Neither is going to be one of the top backs fantasy football-wise because they're going to split touches, split carries, that kind of thing. But for the style of play that the Chiefs play, re-signing Hunt, I think, was huge to just add to that attack on offense.
Also, the Chiefs are very good at just finding these random, they're not even random. They're just not flashy names and they just make something happen out of it.
Right. And, we draft well as well. Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, obviously been there from the get-go and hoping a couple of our rookies step up this year as well.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll talk about the win total here. But this is sitting at 11.5 here. They've gone over this 6 of the last 7. I give you the spiel. You know all about it. How many Super Bowls? 5 in those years. Won 3 of them.
Yep.
Everyone calls them lucky. They want to talk about the refs on the roster. This is kind of never mind. I'm not comparing the Giants.
Bring it on. Come on.
I'm not comparing them. What I'm saying is the Giants lost every game in the division, which is that's not something that normally happens.
Right.
You won every single game in the division with a 4-point margin of victory. Talk to me about this win total. How do we feel? What are our thoughts? Do we feel better than last year?
I think we do feel better than last year.
Okay.
Last year was the story of how are the Chiefs going to win this game? Whether it's a pass interference call in the fourth quarter, whether it's a missed field goal, whether it's a blocked field goal, whatever it might be, we were finding ways to win. So I feel a little bit better. Sitting at 11.5, I would probably take the over, mainly because in my mind, our toughest games are at home. which obviously Arrowhead Stadium, a fantastic atmosphere in the NFL, a great home field advantage for the Chiefs. You got to go. Absolutely. It's an experience in itself. Okay. But we get the Eagles at home. We get the Ravens at home, the Commanders, the Texans. They all come to us as opposed to our hardest game on the road. Obviously, we got to go to Buffalo. But other than that, we go to New York. We go to MetLife, see the Giants. That one might be an easy W. But I think with our easiest games at home really benefits the schedule. I could see us winning 14 games this year, probably. I think we're in for a good year.
Okay, so this is what the counterpoint will be. The 11.5, to me, that line, it's like I'd rather almost take an all under or an all over. Like, I don't know. The 11.5 doesn't, I'm not excited about that number. That does nothing for me. I probably would take them to go over that since I have to do that on the show. My prediction would be the over. The Chiefs have proven to overcome any type of whatever it is, they just kind of figure it out. The division. This is what you're going to also hear about the Chiefs. The division strengthening, blah, blah, blah. Yep. This, which is true. It's very true.
Absolutely. 100%.
It's true. You're going to hear that a lot. They've won 9. Is this true? They've won 9 straight.
9 straight, dating back to the Alex Smith days before Mahomes was even in the league. So no one's been able to catch us.
They are still a favorite, minus 110. Another thing you're going to hear a lot, I'm sure. Everyone's going to be very excited about finding an upset there to win this division. Is it sustainable? Listen, I'm a brat. I like to go against trends. It's a strong fucking trend here.
It is. And you mentioned it. The division all got better. Bo Nix is looking phenomenal for the Denver Broncos. Chargers have, the best scoring defense in the league. Geno Smith and Pete Carroll reuniting in Las Vegas. The pieces are all there for everybody else. I don't think the Chiefs necessarily got better. I don't necessarily think they got worse. I would be worried. Well, it is. It's just scary. As long as we have Patrick Mahomes, I have faith in this team. He is that good. He's not a spread covering quarterback. We know that, but he's a winner. He wins games, finds a way to do it, however it may be. And he's going to have the wide receiver trio of Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, and Hollywood Brown. That's some serious speed that he has not had in a while. I think this could be his best receiving core he's ever played with. And so I would be scared if I were other NFL teams.
Okay, so looking ahead, I'm going to take the Giants to cover the spread against the Chiefs. Okay,
I probably would too. It's going to be what 6.5, 7?
No, way more than that.
I think more than that. It's like MetLife. Okay. Vegas, double digits, they're definitely going to cover
the Giants right now. Okay, so who is the biggest competition? I think Broncos is the easier answer. So Chargers and Raiders, where are they at right now?
I would say the Chargers are a little ahead of the Raiders in my mind, just from definitely a defensive perspective. And you've got not necessarily a first-year head coach, but a new head coach coming into a new system, a new quarterback. Yeah. Yes, they have some repertoire together, but with those other moving pieces, I think it might take them a little bit longer, more than at least one season to really get going, moving in the right direction.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, everyone will say, I'm not saying this is what the people say. The refs are on the Chiefs roster, right? So that's the advantage. They got the advantage there.
You got to beat both of us. I mean, I hate to admit it, but
you're playing 2 teams every week. You're playing 2 teams.
It's tough playing Mahomes and the Stripes, but you know what you're getting into, right? You know that in the first place.
They are plus 400 for the conference. It's whatever. I think again, you had to decide what you want to do. I probably would just rather take them to win the Super Bowl because they're the 4th favorite, which is that has to be. I didn't go back, but they're behind the Eagles, Bills, and Ravens right now. What stops them from going back?
Well, it's not Josh Allen, because we've seen he can't do that in the playoffs.
I like the Ravens this year.
4-0. Sorry, Josh. Yeah. I do too. I would be a little bit more worried about the Ravens than the Bills. I like that we, number one, get to play both those teams in the regular season, but we also get to see the Ravens at home. I would be definitely more worried about Baltimore. I think they've kind of got our number a little bit more than the Bills. Obviously, the Bills have proven they can beat us, not necessarily in the playoffs. But the Ravens really give us trouble every single time. They arguably should have won that week 1 game if Isaiah Likely wore slightly smaller shoes. But regardless, I do think the Ravens are a solid competitor for us.
Yeah. God. But you know what? And this is so rude. I invited you on my I don't want them to go back to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
Nobody does. Look, I'm glad you brought this up because the entire league should have tons of Chiefs fatigue. And I get it. We are in 7 primetime spots this year. I don't know how many we had last year, but it was probably the same amount. You guys are sick of watching us. I get it. You're sick of watching us win, pull this Taylor Swift voodoo every single week.
I forgot. You brought her up. I forgot about her.
I had to. We're talking Chiefs. We got to bring her up. So
yeah. I know. Everyone really doesn't like it. But I do think people really don't like the Eagles either. It's the thing. So you guys, that was I hate the Super Bowl.
Well, right. Nobody wanted to watch that Super Bowl. Nobody wanted either team to win. They were rooting for everybody to lose. But it's the way it goes with I think the fan bases maybe bringing on a little bit. Obviously, the Philly fan base maybe, what's the word, embraces that stereotype.
Fashion, fucking annoying.
Right. They embrace that stereotype, that villain role a little bit more. The Chiefs, people are just sick of us now. And I get it. It's because we're on top.
Yeah. And I think too, and it's the same thing as Brady. It's the Brady's, the Tiger Woods, even Scotty Scheffler right now, it's annoying, right? But you're watching greatness, and in 10 years, it's gonna be the coolest thing to talk about. But right now, you hate it.
Right? You hate it in the moment.
Listen, gambling probably plays a little bit of a hand in that because it's very fun to take plus money. It's very fun to take an underdog. And when the Chiefs are just fucking that up all the time, that's not fun for everyone.
Exactly. No questions asked. So
you brought up Taylor Swift.
Bring it on.
Her boyfriend, I was a baby daddy. I'm going to start rumors again. One time I said, I wonder if he's pregnant. And the Taylor Swift fans came.
They're ruthless. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. They come in waves too.
They're really scary.
They don't leave you alone.
No, Kelsey's a little bit older. We saw, a little bit of regression, maybe also having a girl. I don't know what happened last year, but I think also he's older. You kind of have to just save him and use him as needed. We saw that happen with Gronk. This is a normal thing. But next year, his receiving yards is at 675.5. That's got to be one of the lower lines that they've set it at in a while. That's low.
That's low. I mean, he's had 1,000 plus in how many straight? So yeah, that seems low. He is aging. He is arguably past his prime, definitely on his way out of the league, maybe focused on other things off the field as well. And I get that. He's run his course. He's won his championships. It's time to move on. I do have faith that he came back motivated. He came back for a reason. There was talk of him not coming back at all and just riding off into the sunset. And maybe he does that if we win that Super Bowl. But regardless, he chose to come back, chose to fight with his brothers. So I think he'll be a little more motivated this season. 675 seems way too low.
Pretty low.
Way too low. And I'm glad you put that on my radar.
That line tells me too, should I be looking at Noah Gray then? Because that's a crazy line.
Noah Gray is a guy I love to target last season. His receptions line was typically priced 1.5 all last season. And, he's not getting 6-7 targets, but he's getting 2 or 3 guaranteed catches, little 5-yard sit downs, whatever it takes. So that was a reason I leaned more towards his receptions than his receiving yards. But yeah, I definitely like Noah Gray to be a breakout, more involved in the offense.
He's one of the guys they targeted a lot, longest reception wise too, because he only needs one catch, and they were setting it for a while. It's 4.5, 3.5, 5, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of the season, finally they got smart and it was going up a little bit, and then lost quite a few of those towards the end, but that's okay. But he looking at that Kelsey line, what stood out to me the most was we all know Kelsey's aging. It's just, okay, but what does that mean about everyone else? And what does that mean about Noah Gray? What does that mean about, your 2 receivers too? I think they can't figure the Chiefs out because you got Rice sitting at 925.5 and Worthy at 825.5. Are you smash or passing either of those? Where are you at with those 2 wide receivers?
What sucks about having all of these options is you don't know who to target because both of those guys are capable of, the triple digit yards in a game, two touchdowns, whatever it may be. I feel like Rice is the safer option just because he's probably going to pick up more of the targets, more of those slants, digs, whereas Worthy, you're looking for the long bomb downfield. 925 does seem a little high too, coming back off an injury. We not sure if he's going to miss any time. Yeah. I would be more confident in taking Worthy's number, but that does seem like a lot for just a long ball threat. He's going to need to get more involved in the shorter yardage throws.
Worthy is just way more exciting to me.
He is. He's very fun to watch. I mean, what does he weigh? Like $170? And he's out there in full pads running around.
I love it. He's chicken needs meatballs. He's chicken legs. Okay. Let's talk about final record. Give me a final record prediction.
Final record. Oh, let me pull the schedule real quick. I also have a gripe with the NFL. You're sending your golden boy to Brazil in week 1. We saw what happened. To Jordan Love in Brazil last season, and now you send Mahomes there. You're just asking for an injury. But regardless, final record. We'll go.
They're probably getting their cheeks clapped also. That I think week 1 maybe.
You just think so?
Randomly. I don't know, clap. They're not it's not gonna be a full ass beating,
right.
But
I could see it. I could see the Chargers coming.
And then they'll just
motivated.
be like, see, the refs, they lost week 1.
There, get them on. Yeah, I actually like that. Let's actually lose week 1, get everybody off our backs, and then we'll go the rest of the season.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I'll go 13-4. 13-4 final record for the Chiefs, going over that total and winning the AFC West for a 10th straight year.
Okay. I'm going to put them at refs and the Chiefs winning 11 games. We'll have
11 under that total. Okay.
Why not?
Right on it.
Who knows?
We'll see.
They'll probably win 15 fucking games and then they'll win the Super Bowl.
They'll find a way. They'll find a way.
How do you see that division playing out? First, second, third, fourth?
I think the Broncos finish second. Again, I like how Bo Nix is leading that squad. You got Sean Payton, obviously, as a veteran coach. So I see the Broncos in second, Chargers in third, and then Raiders bringing up the rear once again.
Okay. Who's this season's breakout candidate for you for the Chiefs?
This is tough because I want to see our first round draft pick, Josh Simmons, get some tick at left tackle, but we did just sign Jalen Moore, who's probably going to be the starting role. I would like to see Josh Simmons be that starter by the end of the season because he's probably going to be our guy going forward in the future. But more exciting, I like Jalen Royals, our rookie draft pick out of Utah State. I think he is just a perfect complement to those 3 other receivers. He fits in very well with Andy Reid's system. And I think if he can find some chemistry with Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Royals could be very, very sneaky this year.
Royals sounds like something Mahomes would name one of his kids.
Hey, Kansas City Royals. He's got a little ownership there. He's got his roots in Kansas City.
Maybe we're manifesting something there. We have to look a little bit more into that. I think. Who are you drafting in fantasy from this team? What do I do with the fucking running backs?
You don't.
Nothing?
You unfortunately, not as your RB1. Definitely not as your RB1. I would be okay with either Pacheco or Hunt as your RB2, but the Chiefs just aren't an RB1 producer. With the way they play with Mahomes and this, like I said, this tandem back style, I don't see either one really being a breakout in fantasy. The easy answer would be Travis Kelce.
But you're probably getting value on him right now.
I would think so.
As well.
He's certainly not, the clear tight end 1 like he used to be. So I think there could be some value in Travis in the later rounds.
Which I talked about a little bit earlier with Sean too, as far as tight end goes. There's so much volatility in that position in general that you do see someone older kind of have a shitty season, then they drop way too low, like a Jonnu Smith.
Yes.
And then they pop right back up. Or you see some of these guys end up popping up. I'm seeing it Hawkinson's going a little bit later than I have no problem pulling the trigger on that one. Kelsey's probably another one there that I think I would look to. Sean brought up Goddard, which Goddard's not super old, but who's the keep your eyes on guy for this team? Who are we watching? You know who I love? One of my favorite prospects, I think, in the least dramatic way to watch was George Karlaftis. I loved him. That was my baby boy.
he was on the tip of my tongue to watch as
Really?
the guy. Cause yes, no, 100%. Cause I think he has really embraced his role as kind of not necessarily the pass rusher, but let Chris Jones get in there, stuff the middle, draw some extra attention so that Karlaftis can get those one-on-ones on the outside and find the quarterbacks. So he's speedy. He's maybe a little undersized too, which I like as well. But yeah, George Karlaftis.
He's so fun to watch. He's someone that, like, I love betting. He's just he's a blast. If anyone that's been watching the show for a long time knows that was one of my guys that year. Super Bowl prediction for you.
Super Bowl prediction.
What teams?
I gotta put the Chiefs in there because I don't know if that's just my homerisms, what it might be. Maybe I'm a little delusional, but I just see us getting back there. As far as the NFC goes, I really don't know. I would like to. It really is. The Eagles, obviously, easy answer. I maybe have some faith in the Packers that shouldn't be there. I don't really have much to back that up. More of just a feeling that Jordan Love's gonna kind of elevate his game this season. But we'll go Chiefs Packers. First Super Bowl, or no, that was Vikings. Chiefs Packers, one of the early Super Bowls.
Packers. Okay, you said though. Maybe it is the Vikings. That would be quite funny.
I could see Minnesota doing well as too.
I think, listen, everyone's probably sick of me saying, I do think the Vikings are going to do better than people say. Their roster's too good.
Yep.
The NFC North is a nightmare. NFC East has to play them. It's fantastic. Before we do I thought we would do a road trip snack draft.
Oh, all right.
Mr. Ryan that we were going to do this. I forgot. But I thought we'd do that and we can beef it out about road trips.
Perfect.
But first, I'm going to tell everyone about Rhythm. We talk about Rhythm all the time. They just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed picks, bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. We will be. I am ignoring that part, and we are obviously giving out some golf bets. McCarty might end up being the guy that burns me this week, but guess what? He's quietly a little hot. Gave out the top 20. I decided we're going to go right to the top 10, actually. Fuck the top 20. Top 10 plus 900 on Matt McCarty. That is my long dog play that Rhythm likes as well. Get your 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Rhythm. Also use that to bet live holes if you're getting super degenerate. Let's talk about road tripping. Now that we've decided you do live in the Midwest.
Yep.
The lines are a little blurry. We don't know where that starts, where that finishes. You went on a road trip recently, right? To a wedding. What was that? But that's not a real road trip. What was it? 4 hours?
Oh, it was nothing. It was 2.5 one way. So 5 hours total. That's nothing. You're right. That's not even a road trip. That's
soft.
A day trip. That's a day trip.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the longest road trip you've done?
Ooh, well, I did. I guess I don't know if this counts. As a kid, we drove to Florida as a family. So Kansas City to Destin, it was like 20 some hours. As an adult, I regularly go to Denver. Me and my wife, we drive out to the mountains to go skiing frequently. So that's 9 hours all across the state of Kansas.
So casual. Like, to you guys, it's just like
that's nothing. No, you're right. Exactly. And that's nothing. It's very easy. It goes by in a breeze. I mean, unless I'm, going to a specific place or staying for an extended period of time, it's got to be double-digit hours before I even think about flying.
I can't. I can't. Listen, I think
we're a different breed. We're a different breed. Midwest.
It's just, I don't find, like, I'm not having fun. I don't mind if I'm not driving. Like, if I can fully be a passenger princess and I do not have to touch the wheel, sure. Like, I will fucking sit in the car all day. That's fine. I can do that. That's fine. I don't want to touch the wheel, and we have to stop for food. It's very important. Like, I do appreciate the fact that a good road trip does have snacks, though.
Absolutely. 100%.
Snacking.
It's
all
essential.
Right, I think let's do 4 rounds.
Okay.
back and forth. We'll snake it. You can go
All right.
first as the guest.
Ooh, she's.
Well, I kind of screwed you because then I get 2 picks. So I have to get I have to get a little bit of a taste of what you like, so I can snipe you if I need to. So you get first pick, 101 of road trip snacks.
Road trip snacks. Well, Hall of Fame snacker right here. Salty sweet does not matter. First pick, I'm going to take Cheez-Its. I am just lover of all things Cheez-Its. Have the pantry stocked with them. They're an essential on the road trip. So Cheez-Its, 1 of 1. Love me. Crisp little Cheez-It in the car ride.
Damn. I did have that. I had just had them on a road trip, actually.
Essential. See, there you go. 1 of 1.
I'm going to be so dramatic. And my first one's actually going to be beef jerky. I love beef jerky.
This is a good pick. You need some protein.
It has to be beef jerky. After that, I will go. What's a good? Sunflower seeds.
Sunflower seeds.
Those are horrible picks. I did not think about that before we started.
Well, sunflower seeds is tough because you either got to spit it out the window or have something in the car. So you're asking for a lot right there.
I'm one of those people that just like eats them most of the time.
Shell and all?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Wow. Maybe you are Midwest.
It's gross. Yeah, it's all right. I'm lazy.
That's what it is. Well, I didn't say it. It was her.
Okay, you're up next.
Well, sitting with Cheez-Its in my back pocket. I'm gonna go sweet this time. Probably Sour Patch Kids. I gotta have some candy.
Fuck, you're sweet. No.
Hall of Fame snacker, Smalls. What do you expect? What do you expect? Cheez-Its, Sour Patch Kids off the board.
God,
they're sour.
I am clip
sweet,
farming right now.
and they're
I'm
gone.
gonna get my ass beat in the comments over this.
Cheez-Its, Sour Patch Kids. Come to the good side. And I get a second pick, actually. Second pick now. We got the salty, we got the sweets. Are we doing beverages or are these just snacks?
Well, if we do, let's just do snacks. If we do that, then everyone knows what I'm going to say, and we can't.
Fair. I wouldn't steal your thunder. That's it's all yours. Let's go after Cheez-Its.
This is harder than I thought.
It is. Rethinking though, I'm going to stick with sweet because I definitely need some chocolate. So I am going to go Reese's Pieces.
Okay.
For the chocolate peanut butter combo and just the ease of popping them in your mouth in the car.
Okay. Damn, you really screwed me there. You took 2 of mine that I would have had. I should have went first because I would have done.
You really should have.
I fucked up. I really did. I fucked up there. I blew it, guys. I will go. Do you think can I do watermelon Sour Patches or no? Is my cheating at my own game?
I'll give that to you. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. That's different enough.
God, and what else? What do I like to eat in the car? Chips is lazy. Oh, hot Cheetos. Cheetos.
Yep.
There we go. I'm back in the game.
That was you just stole my draft pick right out from under me. It was gonna be hot Cheetos.
So you get one more, right? Is this last pick?
Yep. One more last pick of the draft. Mr. Irrelevant.
Why did I say sunflower seeds? I don't even like them that much. I don't like them that much.
What flavor? If you got to pick a flavor.
I don't even eat them. I don't know why I said I barely eat them.
It's just the road trip stigma, right? Sunflower seeds. You got to have them.
Well, I think they sound like a good idea, but they're never a good idea. I don't like them.
That's a lot of extra work. It's too much.
I'd much rather have pistachios if I'm going to do, but I want the unshelled ones if I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you can't be lazy. I'm with you.
Yeah, okay.
I'll go Takis as my last one. Ooh, I actually see Twizzlers in chat. I kind of want to snag that one.
I almost said it, but you know what my thing is? Well, one, I like the pull, the pull.
The pull part, absolutely.
And you know what my favorite candy is ever? Not that no one cares. Chocolate Twizzlers. Have you ever had those?
No. And that definitely sounds like something I would have partaked in if I will have to go find them.
Some. I want you to have some. They are hard to find. Yes. My dad had to order them from somewhere recently. He'll send them to me. It took like 2 months to get them. But when they are like ripe, when you first, oh my God, are they
good to go?
Fantastic.
Okay.
I always have them in the pantry.
A new one for me to try on my next road trip.
You got to check it out. Very, very good. You have a soccer bet for us before I let you get out of here? You're a big soccer guy.
Big soccer guy. Yes.
And I don't watch soccer.
Hey, we got soccer. Yes, we got soccer in the FIFA Club World Cup tonight. Okay. I am a big pay the juice man guy. So we're going to take Monterey on the money line at -140. It's a little juicy, but they're playing the Urawa Red Diamonds. Urawa, nothing to play for. Last game of group stage tonight. Monterey, they can't guarantee that they advance with a win, but they have to win in order to have a shot. All you can do is put yourself in that position. I think they get it done with a win, led by veteran Sergio Ramos. They're just the better team on paper in season. I think Monterey comes away with a win tonight. So -140 on that money line.
Fantastic. Have you bet any NFL futures actually? Now that
I have not.
Good.
I have not. I've actually been busy with a lot of international stuff. I
I'm really impressed. I'm not impressed.
Honestly, that Travis Kelce 675, I'm going to book that as soon as we get off the show because that line is way too low for my life.
I didn't even shop that. I just saw that one book. I don't even know what else, where it's at anywhere else in the world. So
I'll find it. I do my line shopping around here.
All on that. You are fantastic. Let people know where they can find you. Mm-hmm. Thank you for waiting through my yapping. I will say I think you kicked my ass. I don't even like sunflower seeds. I have to send you some chocolate Twizzlers. We'll get you back on soon, though. Let people know where they can find you.
Absolutely. Hey, Hall of Fame snacker right here. You can follow me on Twitter at Shaggy_bets. I write articles every single day for bettingnews.com. Me and my friend Colby Marcio, we got a great podcast Wednesdays and Fridays called Up Your Units on the Betting News Twitch channel. So find me on all socials at Shaggy_bets.
And how fun is that? Colby is a friend of the show, friend of the show.
Loud friend of the show.
Me and Colby just yell. So I bet that's a fantastic podcast because I've listened to it.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work, let me tell you. Okay. Gotta rein him in sometimes, but
yeah.
He's
that's why we go. It's a whole thing. So
great guy, Colby Marcio. Great guy.
He is a great guy. Please go follow Shaggy here. I will be back next week. We're going to, again, ask backwards, going to do best ball draft. If you guys want to jump in that, promo code SMALLS. Like, rate, review, subscribe. Tell me your favorite road trip snack. What did we miss? I know we missed something.
We did. Nothing's coming to mind right now, but they're going to let us know.
Fucked up. Yeah, I don't feel good. I feel dirty about that draft. That sucks. All right. We'll see you guys on Monday.